there's a story floating around right now that George Pickens got in an argument with Zach Azzani, who is the new wide receiver coach, about his effort possibly in practice. Now, from what I'm being told, this is way overblown. This story is way overblown. It is not to the magnification of George Pickens being a malcontent. And I'm going to sit here and say this. George Pickens is a raw talent. He is a high-level talent. He has a lot of talent, but he's very raw. The guy could be a really good wide receiver in the NFL. He wants to be a really good wide receiver in the NFL. He sees himself as a number one wide receiver in the NFL. I'm going to tell you this right now. I am not doing this all season with George Pickens. I'm not. I mean, there are going to be situations where people don't see eye to eye. There are going to be situations where it's going to be tough. But I am not going to sit here and blow out and blow up every single George Pickens involvement throughout this season, because sometimes it's ridiculous. Now, I was not there. Chris Carter was there, so maybe we'll ask him at 8 a.m. But from somebody that was there, that is in the know, that pays attention, told me yesterday that this is way overblown. Now this has become a story. It's become a distraction on day one. Things are going to happen. You are going to have differences with your coaches. That's the NFL. Like, it's hard. And Zach Azzani, for those of you that don't know, he's a no-nonsense coach. He coaches a certain way. It's way different than what any wide receiver on the Pittsburgh Steelers have ever been coached before. It's probably way different than what George Pickens has been coached even at Georgia. Zach Azzani is no nonsense. He wants things done a certain way. He wants the effort to be at an all-time high every single rep you do, and that's how every damn coach should operate. And that's how every player should respond, is because you are professional and you should give effort on every play. If you're being questioned about effort, then you don't really honestly need to be there. So the George Pickens effort, I don't know. Like I said, I was not there. But from what I've been told, it really wasn't that big of a deal. And you're going to have back and forth. So you're going to have disagreements. I want to give George Pickens some grace here. I want to give him some grace throughout the season. Now, situations like we saw with Deontay Johnson, where he quit on plays, if George Pickens starts doing that in games, yes, then we start firing things up and we start talking about it. But the first day of training camp, and like I said, from what I've been told, this story is way overblown. We don't need to make these stories. Let the guy play. Let the guy figure it out. And if he can't, then okay, we can come to a conclusion where we could say, all right, George Pickens is this. George Pickens hasn't done that. George Pickens isn't willing to do this. George Pickens isn't willing to do that. But let's just be honest. Come on. You are going to have back and forth with your coaches. You're going to disagree on things. Now, if it was an effort thing, I don't know if I really honestly believe that on the first day with George Pickens. I'm sorry. So prove me wrong. Even if you were there, tweet me at Dorin. If you were there and you saw this incident, let me know. But from whatever I was told yesterday by somebody that was there, that is paying attention, that is in the know of basically everything that has to do with the Steelers, saying that this is basically a non-story. It was just a situation. This doesn't need to happen right now. This doesn't need to happen. And you know what? People are out there searching for these things, which makes me, okay, I'll sit here and I'll talk about George Pickens not being a number one receiver. Okay, he has to prove that. They want him to be. They hope that he could be a number one wide receiver. He doesn't have the whole route tree. He doesn't have the whole route tree in his disposal. Can he grow to be that? Of course. Of course, that's what I'm hoping. But I'm not here trying to drum up stories and search for stories of George Pickens being a malcontent on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm really not here to do that, and it's exhausting. It's very exhausting. Because if we're going to do this all year, why do we always have to do that? Why do we always have to find the negative in everything? Always have to find the negative in Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett didn't help himself. I get that, and we know what the situation is with that. But we're always looking for something negative to tear down. It's the first damn day of training camp. mean, sometimes you don't even know like what the situation is in training camp, and you're getting on the field, everything is fresh, it's new. You're running from drill to drill. You don't even know what the next drill might be, so you're probably confused. Like it could be a situation like that. It's like, okay, like you're doing stock blocking drills instead of we're doing one-on-ones. He's probably like, huh, what? And probably just standing there. And Azzani's probably policy is to jog to every single different point in practice. I don't know what his rules are, but it could have been something like that. And George's probably like, I don't know where I'm going. And it could have been a back and forth, and that's a non-story. I do think that George Pickens, as I keep reiterating, can be a really good wide receiver in the NFL. I think he wants to be. He has the confidence to be. He has the tools, the talent. And I also think he has the mentality to learn this offense and to be able to handle different things. I do believe that he is an intelligent guy, whether you believe it or not. You have to be somewhat intelligent to even make it to the NFL. So he's an intelligent guy. So to be talking about stuff like this is just looking for reasons to tear him down and to cause controversy. You're searching for it. Now prove me wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll be like, oh well, you know what? Then he caused an issue, and you can't have that, and now you're back to square one with George Pickens. And if you're Mike Tomlin, you better get a handle around that right now. You better put parameters around it right now before it becomes a bigger problem. But I don't think that that's the case. I really don't. So can we kind of pump the brakes a little bit with George Pickens? Can we let him at least go through a training camp without him being a story and us searching for a story and searching for him to be, a bad seed in the locker room or a bad seed on the field or a bad teammate or a bad student? I've been hard on George Pickens a lot, but rightfully so for football reasons, because I just don't know. And hopefully he does prove me wrong too and prove us wrong. Not that he's looking to prove me wrong. He doesn't give a damn who I am. Doesn't give a damn who you are. But hopefully he becomes a big-time wide receiver. But these things like this, I don't have time for. I really don't. I have zero time for this.